Welcome to another session of your real estate English. This is your real estate English course. We're on Unit 3, Occupancy. And today we're covering exercise 8, Speaking. With a partner, act out the roles below based on task 7. Then switch roles. Okay, guys, for this exercise, we're covering the skill of asking for permission. If you remember, in today's unit, the tenant was asking for permission. He was wondering, can I have a subtenant? He wanted to rent the apartment while he was gone. And he did it with this, can I? We use can to ask for permission. If you're a property manager, you can refer to the terms of the lease, which is the contract, with this phrase. According to the terms of the lease. And if you want to see if the prospect is really interested or they really want the apartment, you want to close this sale, we have this phrase, what do you think? Now in today's class, we're going to listen to the conversation between a prospect and a property manager. Focus on these phrases. You should have the script already filled out from exercise 7, the listening exercise. These blanks should be filled out, or you can take this opportunity to go ahead and fill it out. And remember, you have this MP3 track, the audio, right here on the platform. So you can listen to it once, twice, and repeat it all you need. And we're going to listen to it together as we do exercise 8, speaking exercise. We need to practice and take notes so we can do the role playing, the acting. Okay, let's get the audio for you. I think it's this one. Listen and read.
Exercises 6 and 7, page 9.
So, what do you think of the apartment?
It's perfect. I think I'd like to rent it.
Great. Let's start the paperwork.
Oh, I have a question. I'm traveling later this year, and I'll be gone for about 3 months.
Okay, so the apartment will be vacant?
That's what I want to talk about. Can I sublet it?
According to the terms of the lease, you can't. But if the subtenant you find is approved by the head office...
Of course. I just prefer having someone there while I'm gone.
Actually, we do too. Having an occupant prevents break-ins.
Exactly. Anyway, let's start that paperwork.
Okay, guys. So, what do you think of the apartment? This is to steer the conversation, control the conversation, so we can find out he or she wants to rent the apartment. Whether or not he or she will take the apartment. Okay, the skill to find out so we can finish the process with the people that are interested? Yes or no, he or she will take the apartment. You can start the speaking conversation like this. So, ma'am, sir, what do you think of the apartment? I recommend addressing the customers, addressing the prospects with ma'am or sir. Very professional. In some places, people expect it because they use it. So if you hear people using it, make sure you're using it too. So, what do you think of the apartment, ma'am, sir? Repeat. So, what do you think of the apartment, of the house, of the villa? It depends on your product. Practice these phrases for the speaking part of your course. Okay, let's listen to the phrase. Ready?
Page 9.
So, what do you think of the apartment?
It's perfect. I think I'd like to rent it.
The prospect said, it's perfect. Okay, we're doing good. Think I like to rent it. They want to rent it. This is to find out if they want to rent the apartment. So what do you think of the apartment, ma'am, sir? After you show the apartment. Next. The terms of the lease. And the permission. Listen.
Great. Let's start the paperwork.
Oh, I have a question. I'm traveling later this year, and I'll be gone for about 3 months.
Okay, so the apartment will be vacant?
That's what I want to talk about. Can I sublet it?
According to the terms of the lease, you can't. But if the subtenant you find is approved by the head office...
Can I sublet it? That's the permission. Can I sublet it? Can I... Any action you want to put right here? We learned that sublet is the action of renting, correct?
Sublet.
Lease a property to a subtenant when you're not living in your apartment. You can rent it to a different person. So that's the permission. Now, let's talk about the terms of the contract. In this situation, they said, according to the terms of the lease, you can't. So let's practice. Terms of the lease. Sir, ma'am, according to the terms of the lease, you cannot. No permission. You can't. Negative. Can I sublet it? No, ma'am. According to the terms of the lease, you cannot, ma'am. To give permission, you say, yes, of course you can. To not give permission, you cannot. You cannot. Well, this is just the rule about subletting in this complex. The rule of subletting that we learned in this complex. So here we have the writing exercise. It says, use the conversation, right? Type of lease. What is the type of lease? 1 year, 6 months. The building allows subletting, or the building doesn't allow, does not allow. However, the terms on the lease, the terms of the lease don't allow it. Another thing to be aware of is, if you're interested, contact me. So you guys can use this format to practice some of the information that you have in your apartments, or you can use the conversation that we listened to today to practice and fill this out. Easy. This is the writing, so you can practice and plan your ideas right here with the permissions. Another way to talk about permissions in English is allow. Allow. Or we use can and can't. Can and can't. Practice different permissions. What are some permissions? Like today's situation. Can I sublet my apartment? Subletting. What are some other permissions that you have in your apartment complex? In your apartment complex. What are some other permissions? That's today's skill. Asking for permission. So practice, you are a prospective tenant. What kind of permission would you ask for? What kind of permission? What kind of permission would you ask for? Make sure you add that in here. And talk about the terms of the lease to support your answer. Talk about the terms of the contract, the lease, to support your answer. Fantastic. Excellent.